maybe Death's not actually coming for our family. Because that would be crazy.
So Final Destination Bloodlines is the sixth and latest entry of the Final Destination franchise, releasing on May 16th. The film follows Stephanie, who after having a recurring nightmare of her grandmother and a tragic event, returns to her family, but then start dying in brutal and gruesome ways. So they have to race against the clock to escape Death's grip. So that is all I'm going to say about the movie. I don't want to give away any spoilers for anything, because, you know, the movie is not officially out yet, and I don't want to spoil it. I will have a spoiler review up when the film officially releases. Now, the original Final Destination released over 2 decades ago. However, does this new entry hold up to the original? Well, let's find out. So, this film was directed by Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein, and I think they did a great job. The direction is very clear throughout, and they did a great job managing this new story and reintroducing us to the world of Final Destination, while also introducing a new generation to the world of Final Destination. And I really hope this film is a success, because it's a load of fun and it's just an all-around gore fest. And I would love for us to keep getting a few more movies in this franchise, maybe every other year. You know, maybe they can take like the Evil Dead route, where they give like new filmmakers the franchise this film every so often and see what they come up with, whether it will be good or just okay. I don't want any more bad Final Destination movies, because then that'll mean the franchise will disappear for a while again. And yeah, I saw this movie as a double feature along with the original. And besides from that being a great experience, you know, seeing Devon Sawa take a shit in an XL cinema was a great experience. And after that movie finished, there was a slight break, and then this film began. And wow. From the moment it began, it felt like classic Final Destination. From the opening scene to the final scene, it was great. And of course, sadly, in classic Final Destination fashion, there are some issues with the film. But I will get to my negatives in a bit. For now, let's get to the positives. Now, as I said, this film feels like classic Final Destination. It has an amazing story that connects to the others, and is also able to create a new story that really works. The actors in the film as well are amazing. From Caitlin Santajuana to Tio Briones, who you might know from the Chucky TV show as Junior, and Richard Harmon, who was amazing in this as well, and who I and hopefully others know from The 100. He plays John Murphy in that. And don't get me wrong, he plays an arsehole in this as well, but he plays a really good arsehole. And of course, the man himself, the late and great Tony Todd. He has a great send-off in this movie, and he's overall still as creepy as he was like 20 years ago with the original. The film does have some amazing and really funny jokes and darkly comedic moments. I'd say it's one of the funnier entries in the franchise, but it doesn't really take away from the story or the horror in the movie. It is still very much a horror movie, and it does that really well. It's just a great all-around movie. Like, the kills are also really funny at times, because there'll be a moment where a character won't think they'll die, and then they'll start like making fun of the person who's like, no, we're all gonna die. And then next thing you know, someone dies. It's really smart with how they do it. And speaking of smart, there's another thing that I really have to applaud with this movie, and that is the marketing. The marketing with this movie was incredible. They did an amazing job only revealing a few things, and they didn't really reveal many actual events in the movie. Maybe one thing, which I will leave up to you guys to figure out, unless you've, of course, already seen the movie, which you will know what I mean by that. But there are certain things which happen to certain characters in the trailers which end up going an entirely different direction in the movie, and I feel they were really smart with the marketing, so I have to say, great job with the marketing front. Very, very good. You know, even if you watch the trailers for this movie, it didn't really reveal much about the actual movie. Well, we're about halfway through the video now, so if you are enjoying, please feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the video. It does really help me out. Also, if there are any movies releasing this year that you want to see me review, let me know in the comments. They're a bit niche, I probably wouldn't have heard of them. So, you know, it would really help me out if you have any cool movies that you want me to check out. Or, you know, it doesn't even have to be a new movie. It could be an old movie that I just haven't reviewed yet. So if you want me to check that out, let me know in the comments and I will get to it as soon as possible. But yeah, back to the video. But the kills are one of the main reasons that people come to watch a Final Destination movie. Are they decent? Are they brutal? Are they inventive enough? To answer all those questions, yes, yes, and yes. All the kills in this movie are bloody, they're brutal, and they're disgusting. It has some great reactions from like the crowd in the cinemas, and you know, watching this on a massive XL screen was even better, because you get to see all the nitty-gritty details on this massive screen with like 7 different speakers around you, hearing all the like squishes of blood, and like every scream was really loud. And It's just great. But on to my main negative for the movie. Now, there is really only one negative. I don't have like loads of them with this. I only have one, and that is the CGI. Most of the time, it is pretty good and doesn't get to Final Destination 4 levels. But some of the shots in this movie that could have been done practically, I felt they really should have tried to do practically, because so many felt out of place, looked janky, and just frankly not very good. Highlights will definitely be obvious in the movie when you go to watch it. Like, you will very obviously see what is CGI and what is not. There's a certain kill which happens like not near the beginning of the movie, but like about 20-30 minutes in, I believe, and half of it looks good, but then half of it looks very CGI heavy. Another thing, like the blood in this movie, it's very obviously a lot of CGI blood, and that did really bring it down for me a bit. But frankly, I can mainly look over that just because of how fun this movie was and how much I love Final Destination. I don't go into a movie just to, moan about the CGI. I know I just did that quite a bit, but I can look past it because everything else in this movie was so good. Like, all the actors had great chemistry. You could tell that, they were a family in the movie. They all loved each other, and then they all get to watch each other die, and it's really, really brutal. And I gotta say, some of the shots as well in this movie, like particularly during, this isn't really a spoiler because you see it happen in the trailers, that scene at the really tall restaurant, that was amazingly done. Like, the choreography during that with all the people and everything, perfect, great. Ultimately, this movie is an amazing return to form for the franchise. It has some great kills, an amazing story, and a great send-off to the character of William Bloodworth and the late great Tony Todd. But yeah, ultimately, I give this movie a 9 out of 10. It would have been perfect if it just had some better CGI at some points, but genuinely everything else is so good and it's really fun. I highly recommend going to watch this movie when it does release officially in just a few days. I will have a spoiler review up when it officially releases, so once you've watched it and you want to come, check out the spoiler review, please go do so. But until then, go check out this movie. It releases May 16th. I want to hear your guys' thoughts if you have seen it already in the comments. And when you go see it, come back to this video and let me know what you think about it, because genuinely, such a good movie, such a great time, and one of the better movies I've seen this year. I think this could be really high on my list for movies this year. But yeah, until next time, thanks for watching, subscribe to the channel, and like the video. Until next time, bye-bye.